Golf Central on YouTube, brought to you by TaylorMade.
So a great 64 by Camilo Villegas. He hit 10 of 14 fairways, 15 of 18 greens, just 28 putts. It's his lowest round on the PGA Tour since this event, the RSM Classic, back in 2016. Now, tragically, sadly, Camilo and his wife lost their daughter, Mia, this summer due to cancer. Camilo's been bravely out playing on the PGA Tour, but he often thinks of his young daughter, and she was on his mind today, and he talked about it after his round.
I've been feeling good, to be honest. It was kind of nice this morning. I got on the range and see a little rainbow out there, and kind of started thinking about Mia, and I said, "Hey, let's have a good one." It's nice to have Manny on the bag, and yes, it was a good ball striking round. It was a great putting round. I was pretty free all day, and like you said, it's tough to be free under these conditions, but I found a way to do it.
You mentioned Mia. Is it difficult not to get emotional during a round like this when you said you think of her?
You know what? I just did a little bit when I mentioned her name. When I'm out there, it's so focused. There's so much going on, especially under these conditions. I'm there with my brother, and you just follow a process. So to answer your question, you're so focused on what you're doing that it doesn't really. I'm not gonna say it doesn't distract me. But like I said, when I got on the range and I saw a rainbow, I mean, hey, listen, here it is. She loved colors and rainbows, and my wife was all about it, and it was cool. It was a nice way to start the day.
Rex Hoggard with a question there. You heard him mention Manny. That is his brother, who was an accomplished player himself. He's on the bag caddying this week. I could just spout off numbers and statistics, Jim, but this is about emotion.
Sure.
And the battle that a father has to deal with in losing his daughter and trying to continue his quest on the PGA Tour. How tough is this for him?
I can't imagine. I can't imagine what he's going through, those emotions. And if there's anything, you know, anytime your mind has time to think about it, you get emotional. And I think what he was trying to say, and I think for any of us, when we get on the golf course, it's kind of our safe place. It doesn't allow our mind to wander. I think when your mind's wandering is when you go back to those things. But I think, like he said, the conditions were so tough, it allowed him to focus. And I think, you know, maybe he's playing for something, and I don't know if he gets down there closer at the end on Sunday, it might be a little bit more emotional, but I cannot imagine, you know, the pain they've gone through and trying to go forward. I think it's minute by minute, hour by hour, day by day for them.
I don't want to discount the pain that Camilo and his wife went through because they can only experience this, and speak on it, but you know, it sounded like, you know, playing golf out on the PGA Tour is somewhat therapeutic for him.
Yeah, I think everybody that's had something tragic or things aren't going well, it is a safe haven. It's a place that we go to, we've loved. And I think it's easier for me to say that because I'm not in his shoes, but I think, like he said, he's out there and he's able to kind of just free his mind and just like focus and uber focus on what he's trying to focus on. And then when he gets done, he has time to kind of reflect on that.
Always thoughtful, always candid, very open with his comments and obviously his emotions as well. One other quick note, he's playing on a major medical. If he finishes solo second this week, he will retain his PGA Tour card. Yet another reason to root for Camilo Villegas here this week. Take a look at the current leaderboard. Wallace and Villegas tied with a 64. Keegan Bradley with a nice 67 as well. Patton Kizzire lives on St. Simon's Islands. This is a home game for him. Rory Sabatini, South African, Slovakian. How about first page of the leaderboard? Peter Malnati. If he wins this event, how about this? He will tie Dustin Johnson for the lead in the FedEx Cup standings. How about that? That's a strong fall it has been for Peter Malnati. But everyone is chasing Villegas, as I mentioned, and Matt Wallace, who spoke about that nice 64 after his round.
New putter. I wanted to go back to something that I was familiar with in shape, but I've never used a no sightline putter before. So it was kind of taking out a little bit of doubt. Is if I'm lining it up, I'd go on my feel. So line the ball up, see my spot, and then able to roll it over that spot is important to me.
And then the last question would be that, I mean, I know you don't have your caddy here this week, and you took a local caddy.
Yeah.
Did that help you?
Yes. As I said to a couple of questions before, he was on the 4th hole or 5th hole, he was 1 for 1 in green reading. So I said, don't read any more putts because you're 100%. But no, he's been great. He's really chill. Justin Parsons put me in contact with him, which is great, and very fortunate for Jeffrey to jump on the bag in the absence of Dave.
Now, Wallace, talking to our Christy Sotaro, you heard him mention the caddy. His regular caddy actually tested positive for COVID-19. That is why he has a local caddy. Matt Wallace, how about this? 4.439 in strokes gained putting today. That's his lowest number on the field, or his best number on the field, I should say. Lowest career round on the PGA Tour as well with that 64. Impressive performance by this guy who many think could be a star.
Right. And, you know, I think one of the things, I reached out to the manufacturer of the putting company that he reps, and I said, why did he switch putters? And he went to the putting lab, and with his other putter with the line, he actually lined up 2 degrees to the right. And so when he went up to a putter, as he mentioned, no sight line, no line on it, he actually lined up just a little bit to the left, maybe less than a half a degree. So he didn't have to compensate for the way he was lining up by just with a line on the putter. And I know you're looking at me with this crazy look, but I mean, I've talked to Mike Shannon about it, and certain people, and I don't know the mental side, the optics behind it, but some people line up a putter with a line better than others and differently. So that's what he did. He went in the putting lab. That's why they use all this technology, and it worked for him.
It is amazing. I've used a line on my putter for every round I've ever played golf, thinking it would help me, and it could
Maybe
be
you need no line.
Maybe it could be actually hurting me. It's great stuff by our own Jim Gallagher.
Conditions were really tough. The wind blowing, knowing where to miss it, and I read the greens really well today and made some good putts. So local knowledge was big today.
We always make a big deal of it about all the local guys and how important it would be to win this event. In your mind, how important would it? What would it mean?
It'd be really special to win your home event, to represent Sea Island well. Would mean a great deal to the community and to the tournament and to me.
First of all, a lot of us guys that play or that live here don't always play here. I mean, I'd argue it's probably Seaside is probably the best golf course in the Golden Isles. I mean, you can argue some other ones, but I think you're wrong. But it's also one of the busiest. And Plantation with the redo has now basically gotten to that point too. So rightfully so. I mean, Sea Island Company does it right. I mean, they're unbelievable facilities with unbelievable golf. I don't play here that much. Now, do I have course knowledge? Absolutely. I mean, I've played here 11 years now, or whatever, 10 and a half. But I don't know. I mean, maybe there's pressure of trying to perform in front of others. I don't feel like I have that. Certainly not this year because there's no one out there. But there's also maybe expectation setting. I mean, I've played a lot of golf where, hey, I love this golf course. Game feels pretty good. I should have a good week. And when you have expectations, sometimes that can have a reverse effect.
Love hearing from the veteran Zach Johnson, who's looking to continue what was a nice opening day for him. Again, the RSM Classic second round coverage coming at you tomorrow at 1 o'clock Eastern Time. Jim and I will be back here prior to our live coverage to get you started for the day.